morning, and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. I'm going to introduce a couple new artists to this channel who are collaborating in a very amazing video. Falling in Reverse is a band led by Ronnie Radke that has been mainly known as a metalcore, hardcore, emo type band. But Ronnie's developing a reputation as a genre bender as he branches out into rap and now country. And for his country effort, he's bringing in a very big rising star in the country and rap world, Mr. Jelly Roll. This video, which I've watched numerous times, is like a full-length movie compressed down into 3 minutes and 24 seconds. There's so much going on here. I'm going to stop it and show you things that escape my attention and may escape a lot of people's attention, because in a lot of cases it's only a very, very short frame or two where something is hidden. You could easily not notice it with everything else that's going on. But the cinema here, like I say, is just world class. It reminds me of a Quentin Tarantino movie compressed down into 3 minutes. Start it all off. You may notice we're in the Wild West here, and it looks like a typical Western town. But what's that floating up in the air there just below the windmill? Why, it's Ronnie himself arriving on a winged horse, a Pegasus. We're in an alternate universe here where almost anything can and does happen. A very magical movie.
Yeah, I've been high and low, I've been sober, I've been faded, searching for my love in all the wrong places.
It's common in a Western town to have what's called a cigar store Indian, a wooden sculpture of an Indian. But this one is a little different because he's in a coffin and he wears a sign that says trespassers. So I guess this Indian was not welcome and put there as an example to other trespassers. Now, we may have a problem similar to most recent Eminem song that was based on the Steve Miller song Abracadabra, in that people who are younger or perhaps not familiar with the country music scene might not recognize that line that he just sang, looking for love in all the wrong places. That was a hit song in 1980 by Johnny Lee. It was in the movie Urban Cowboy. Very, very popular song. And so he just quoted that kind of as a hat check to country music there. He sings pretty well in the country genre.
I've been high and low, I've been sober, I've been faded, searching for my love in all the wrong places. Word up on the streets is I got a bad reputation. Yeah, I may have true blood, but that was true love. Got a stroke of bad luck everywhere I look, every time I go by.
So he walks into this bar, and it's a giant standoff. Everyone got their guns drawn. They're getting ready to have a big shootout. The cinematography in this next few seconds reminds me nothing so much as Japanese fighting scenes, the samurai scenes from Kill Bill. It's so well choreographed, every little detail. I just want to point out, he's all dressed in white here. That's going to change in a minute. In addition to all his other talents, he's a tremendous actor. He looks like he's walked out of a High Plains Drifter movie, and he plays the part so well.
Where I look, every time I go right, everything goes wrong, and I self-destruct when I'm close to love. So someone save my soul, because all my life I've fucked up and I can't deny. I'm doing my best to get it together.
Now, I gotta wonder about the sexuality of that blonde person there, because she just picked that man up and smashed him on the table. If it is a she, she's built like a linebacker. But there's going to be a little more of that gender bending going along as we progress here. And here is Jelly Roll in prison And of course, Jelly was actually in prison earlier in his life, as was Ronnie. Ronnie had a little problem with the law out in Las Vegas and violated parole and ended up in prison. Those two probably bonded over that experience. I just want to mention the chorus that just went by. All my life I fucked up. Obviously, these guys have fucked up and ended up in jail, but it didn't stop them from reaching the very heights of musical talent and fame.
Yeah, I've been up and down, I've been through hell and back. I've had my share of drama, baby, please cut me some slack.
This is one of the best female impersonators out there. This is Blair White. And really, most guys would be fooled by this presentation. Really sends off a feminine vibe. And then the other blonde, you're going to see a little more of in a second, that's Jelly Roll's wife. Her name is Bunny. She's famous in her own right for having her own podcast. She was actually a sex worker when Jelly Roll first met her out in Las Vegas about 8 years ago. And then they've been married for quite a while. Although apparently their marriage is an open relationship, so who knows. But she gave up the sex work and is now focused more on her podcast and some of her other ventures.
Know you want to get through to me, but I am my worst enemy. I may have true blood, but that was true love.
That's Bunny there. And apparently there was some sort of poker game which Ronnie won and bought Jelly Roll's freedom.
I look everywhere I look, every time I go right, everything goes wrong, and I self-destruct when I'm close to love. Better buckle down, giddy up, here we go, because
Here's an impossibility. We're in an old West Bank, but there's a woman drawing money on an old school ATM. So nothing quite makes sense in this fantasy world here.
fucked up and I can't deny, I'm doing my best to get it together.
Now, a little problem. They leave the bank and they run into this gang with Blair holding the shotgun and her associates. I'm not sure if any of those people are actually women. I kind of suspect that they're not. Gender bender gang here. But apparently they're not going to let the boys get off with all that money. Go. So they shot each other, and then a rainbow came out from each body, and the two rainbows met in the middle with a unicorn, or maybe it was a Pegasus. And then Ronnie's there shouting, "Let's go." And this is the craziest line dance you're ever going to see, especially because of the very, very heavy metal rocking rhythm that's provided by the band here. While the dance was going on, Jelly-O drank one of the magic elixirs, and now, kind of like out of Alice in Wonderland, he's going to grow into a giant 50-foot tall monster, dwarfing all the townspeople here.
All my life I'm fucked up and I can't deny, I'm doing my best to get it together. I told you once, I told you 1,000,000 times,
For an RPG grenade launcher. And she's going to try to shoot the monster, but I'm not going to work out quite like she hoped.
just can't live like this forever. I can't live like this forever. I'm doing my best to get it together. I just can't live.
And now the giant Jelly Roll is going to stomp on a few of the dancers. Wow, do you see the size of that foot coming down? Meanwhile, Ronnie makes his escape on the train leaving town. Unfortunately, a giant squid has taken out the railway bridge, and the train is about to crash into the river. This reminds me so much of the great train wreck of Ashtabula in 1876. I know a lot about that because one of my relatives was involved in the design of the bridge, which was later found to be faulty. It was one of the biggest train wrecks ever, with over 90 people killed. That's the end of the video. A remarkable piece of music and probably an even more remarkable piece of film acting and special effect. Just brilliant. You know, I normally look for political messages in the song. I find nothing political in here at all, except maybe a little bit of flirtation with the gender benders. It's just a lot of fun. The song is great. The performances are great. Jelly Roll can belt it out like he is 50 foot tall. Just a lot of fun to mix up hard, heavy metal sound with the country sound. And it's a rockin' song. I love it.